Alright, welcome back to D&D. So, last time you were trying to figure out who should be sent back to the lower planes, which person, demon, fiend, whatever, will be forced to stay behind, and how you're going to deal with that, and what deals you could make with them. Went around to the individual people, got some additional information, did a little sleuthing, discovered that this city was built with an entire kind of magical circuit around it, and it was built for three purposes: to summon the fiends, to bind them to the city itself, and to do some unspecified third purpose that apparently failed. You weren't able to get any real additional information on that. However, while you were still making your decision, Graham was able to use his connection with his god to try and find out who should be forced to stay behind in the city, and was then presented with an image that actually showed the Azamar Einel, who was the one who actually was recommended to stay by the actual Eidos herself. So,
we also did we talked to Hank's dad, and Hank's dad said, yeah, do that.
Good luck with that.
Or something like that.
He said if that's what they said, you probably want to go with it, but I will come by later and investigate more thoroughly when I can.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun.
So, we leave you off there, having taken another long rest, and then Graham, of course, had done his... It's not divine intervention, I can't remember.
Divination?
Divination, thank you. Did his divination spell during the long rest.
So
the gods tell us
The god.
the Asmar is the one who should stay. But how does this ritual work again? Like, could we send any number of people?
So,
The hell?
from what we've gathered,
It's like a reverse prisoner's dilemma where if any one of them volunteered to stay behind and never be able to go back, then the rest could go. But because they're all self-interested, they refuse to do it. And the Asimar claims she was sent by the heavens to keep watch over this, because even if they're bound, they're still powerful demons and devils. And wants to go home very badly.
Yep. But obviously, Ido said that she needs to stay.
I mean, I think there might be a Gordian knot thing here, possibly, but it depends on how this goes. Graham is going to have to, go with what God said.
Yeah. We basically interviewed all four of them pretty thoroughly. We asked the gods on their take, and
Well, not the gods, like specifically
we asked
Eidos.
the greater powers on their take, and we also, I guess, referenced a pretty powerful wizard.
I mean, Piffle has to go with whatever a powerful god and or wizard is saying. He doesn't know any better about this, that's for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we're agreed, Graham thinks he knows what's going on, and I guess we can just go out and let them know we're ready to make our pick and gather them up.
All right. You leave the room.
Yeah.
Okay. You find a imp kind of just absent-mindedly just drawing some symbol on the ground just outside the room. He sees the door open.
Can I do a religion check on the symbol?
Yes, go ahead.
Nope.
It's in Infernal. You're not really sure what it actually says. If it was in Common or a language you could speak, you could probably identify it, but It's just too difficult.
Can I Arcana it?
If you'd like.
Because my ultimate concern is like
I just
they
want to
could have like
I just want to
faked-
get my bad rolls out early. That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
they could have faked the divination result or something. But this is my first time casting it in a while, so I don't think they can. I guess we will find out.
Yeah, Otto, you're not really sure. It doesn't. It's some sort of fiend magic you're not familiar with, if it's magical at all. The imp sees you kind of staring at the symbol, and he just kind of like puts his foot on it, just wipes it out.
I'm gonna insight the imp.
Okay. The imp seems a little embarrassed.
It's infernal pornography, Graham.
No, that's not the same kind of shame.
Come to get you. Make choice now, yes?
Yeah.
Yep. Mystery Barbarino.
It's good. Smart choice. You choose someone to stay behind. Hopefully friends.
I'm gonna insight that as well.
Okay.
That's better.
The imp. Honestly, you kind of get the vibe this imp maybe isn't the smartest of his kin. And is probably closer to a parrot.
Gotcha.
Hey, parrots are pretty smart.
I wonder who he wants. I wonder who he would prefer to leave.
Leave behind? Who? I don't know. I'll just go with whoever. Bring me back to the lower planes. That'll be fun. Back down there to slap, stab, poke, pierce, right?
All right.
Oh, wait. So all the imps are gonna go with when?
Well, yeah, they're only bound because they're working for a boss who's like, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to murder you.
Right, but I mean, let's assume one of them stays. Do they all go still, or most of them?
Most of them will go. Whichever ones are directly beholden to the one that stays.
Okay.
Stay. All right, let's go.
City fun. Not too exciting. Too cool for my tastes. Like it warmer. Alright, take you down to the center. Come follow. And he leads you back to the kind of center area where you had first met the four fiends. The river of lava is just kind of flowing through. The heat in the area is immense, and you can just kind of feel it like cooking your skin. It's not dangerous, but it's certainly uncomfortable. The four fiends have taken the seats at their table where they had first met you. You see the kind of older man, the aristocratic one. Ah! Come join us. Have a seat.
Graham will take a seat. So out of character, we basically will all have to make sure we demand everything we can get from them up front for the agreement on the deal before we make it. I don't think the Celestial will attack us the same way, but negotiating our protection until we're safe after the consequences of our decision is part of it, and then all the shit they promised us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's my understanding.
Oh man, I don't have the brain power for this today.
I never have the brain power for this. You're the brains of the operation. I can
I know,
try
that's
that.
what scares me.
Short and simple. All the stuff you promised us.
So,
Yeah.
so I guess let's see. So we're in the room where the ritual is basically going to take place, right?
It's like kind of an outside plaza, but this is where they all are meeting.
Yep. And is the Celestial here?
She has not arrived yet.
Okay.
Graham is going to once again try to insight and just try to read the expressions of each of them.
Okay.
I too will do that.
Yay!
Yeah. They actually, from what you can get, they seem excited, optimistic. Even the Slaughtermaster, the large demon, doesn't seem as, kind of agitated as he typically is, with the slight. Although, Graham, you definitely get the feeling that he is, like, just absolutely ready to rip something apart, and it's just kind of simmering beneath. But you kind of get the feeling it's always like that.
Yeah.
He's very controlled, considering.
He has had practice.
He gets brownie points for being controlled and not threatening us every second.
He gets gold star.
And he's also cursed that he can't actually harm you unless you attack first.
Yeah.
So we should probably start by telling them the good news.
Well,
That way they'll be,
I
in a
mean,
good mood, predisposed to listen to us.
just based off of how they look, I feel like they already know the decision.
Yeah, I'm guessing that we've been scried or surveilled. They probably know everything we've talked about and then some.
Hate scried.
Come, take a seat. Have some wine, some food. Join us. A preparation for a celebration is in order, I feel. As we will soon be freed from our brief but noticeable absence from the lower planes. This vacation has gone on a little too long, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You look a little glum, friend. Have cheer. You're about to make yourself one hell of a friend.
Well, so goes the hope. While we're waiting, can you tell us more about this city?
Oh, the city, it was built by dwarven engineers and architects. It's built in the style of the dwarven homelands, although for taller people, it could actually support even a Goliath, taller size. It was created for magical study.
Yeah. What do you know about that?
Quite a bit. But at this point, it's meaningless. It didn't achieve what it wanted, and so I consider the matter closed.
I am also going to insight that.
Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah, hold on.
I was muted. I was gonna incite that also.
You can't get a read on him. This one, I rolled for him. He rolled really well.
I'm trying to. Someday my insight's gonna come out. By the way.
He's auto. Yeah. This guy can't get a good read on him at all. He is playing. He's got his cards close to the chest. He is definitely not giving up any information that he doesn't have to.
You know, when I saw that insight roll, is just like, you know what? Just go back into the ether. Don't come back.
All right. Yeah, Fern. Yeah, you're not able to get a good idea. I rolled real well for the suit.
All right, so I have an idea for what we can do about that. Possibly. As part of the precondition to choosing him to leave, everything he knows about this city and the failed third ritual binding thing should be given to us as information. We can add that to the list of conditions.
Yeah, that's what I was. I figured that was a given at this point.
Are you discussing this in character?
No, but I don't know.
I assumed that we were going to do that because the information seems.
Yeah, it seems pertinent, and I feel like every time we've come close to figuring out what actually is going on, the dice have just been like, no, no, no.
All right. You obviously are here to make a deal. And my friend Dealmaker, my associate Dealmaker here, is quite eager, as the title might indicate. So, lay what you want in front of us, and we will negotiate.
Um,
Want all your money.
And we,
oops.
I feel like we never actually discussed what we wanted. This is out of character, obviously.
I mean, they gave us stuff to offer, some of which we can take probably safely, some of which we can't. Let me start trying to keep a list. I don't.
Can we just I guess make the list now is what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Out of character.
that's what this is going to be. I'm writing up everything we need, and I'm gonna see if I can.
I guess we can go. I guess we can go through the list, and we can just is it important? Is it not? To ask for, Like I feel it's important that you want the information on the city. I feel like that's not too much. I think everybody agrees with that. Otto is not going to waver on the info on the wife and away to and from the level of hell she's in when it's time.
It's a good demand.
And then I don't know about the Chaos Blade. I feel like I would give up the Chaos Blade for the Wild Hunt not showing up very often, but
Yeah, there was the Wild Hunt.
Yeah, I'm keeping a running list. Give me just a sec. Favors.
Piffle wants a boon from them. He wants a boon to cheating at cards.
Biffle gets a +10 to deception on everything.
God.
They just kind of sit there, just looking at you, just scrawling this list down.
Call it a negotiation tactic.
I want to say out of character, like a fiendish deception boon for once a day would be kind of awesome.
It would be awesome, and I demand it.
Let's see. Information on Otto's wife. Escort through hell back. Other. Biffle wants to cheat at cards. Okay, so I'm trying to divide it up into different things. Should I make you know what? I'm going to use the Viderheim loot doc.
Yeah.
And put it in the top, and you guys can view it, and I'll link it. Give me just a sec. I got to pull it back up again. It's been a while.
I got it. You want me to link it in the chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, give me 1 second.
There we go.
Control C.
And then at the very top is where I'm going to put the stuff.
Whoa! Oops, that's half a link. I hit something else. Control C. All right, here it comes. Here comes the link.
Right now I've got it divvied up into guarantees, favors, info, material things, and other.
I feel like we could get the Chaos Blade and the Wild Hunt slowed down because the guy really just wants to F something up real bad, fam. And he also mentioned that he has no need for this material piece of shit. In nice fiendish thingy.
There was also information about the Civil War / nobles that are working with fiends in Viderheim.
Oh yeah.
This is just a list of everything. I really hope we don't have to go too deeply into horse trading. But
I don't have any horses to trade, Graham.
it's a metaphor.
I'm going to out of character say that the Duke of Vaxfall is as a wild short tin foil hat is working with fiends. We need a tinfoil hat theory. Every
Yeah,
campaign.
The hat of thought deflection.
Look, somebody's got to carry for Kaido, okay? And I can tinfoil hat with the best of them as necessary.
All right. Are we forgetting stuff that was offered, discussed, or wanted off this list?
You were given a few additional pieces of information. You were told you could get the name of the fiend who attacked Otto's village and his actual boss. And you're also going to be provided information about the flayed one, of which Otto had kind of fallen unconscious and then had a meeting with him, who then told Otto not to do that.
Otto is a strong, independent paladin with mild warlock tendencies. They don't need no angry patron. AK Autos is just nuts.
Mm-hmm. The Smiler sees you kind of coming to an end of your discussion. Very well then. Let's hear your terms, and we will consider them.
Let's see.
He is. I like how it like shows up on the sheet, and but I know for a fact you type way faster than that.
You can hear the machine gun. Yeah. All right. Is there anything I'm missing before I present all this to them, guys?
I don't think so.
All right. So Graham will tap the papers on the table, look up, clear his throat. So we would like to request a number of guarantees, favors, information, material boons, and fiffle. So
I believe you already have a fiffle, but
Fiffle is his own like.
Fiffle's got his own thing going on. He's got his own ideas. But for starters, none of you will take action against our party, our interests, the Crossed Blades, or any of its partners and sponsor state. You will defend us from the consequences of the decision we make on releasing you in the immediate and physical and in the long-term and indirect. All information and favors you provide will be provided in good faith and full honesty, including necessary context and avoiding lies of omission. For favors, we request assistance in dealing with the Wild Hunt pursuing one of our party members. We want information on the attack on Otto's village, the fiend who slew his wife, and his superior, information about the flayed one, an escort through hell and back to retrieve Otto's wife if possible and when possible. For information, before we agree to anything, we want to know what this city's was for and what its third function was. I want to know about the Viderheim Civil War, what you can tell me about that and its backing interests, including infernal ones and fiendish ones. For material things, we were offered the Chaos Blade and material wealth in the form of real estate and money. I'd like details on that. And Fiffle wants to be better at cheating at cards.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Huh.
I just hear Fiffle from the back just going, yeah, with a fist pump.
That's quite a lot of demands of us.
Yes, it is.
No. Pare that down to 4 demands. Represent it, and I'll see if that sounds more reasonable.
Hey, you guys offered all of these things, by the way.
Things have changed in our favor.
We can always
Well,
walk.
you have to understand, when you're being offered two choices, you're usually being asked to ignore the third one, and we have the third choice here. The third choice is we pick none of you, and you just go back to sitting together and enjoying each other's company for the next however many 100 years.
Actually, that's much rather changed in our favor, too.
I'm going to insight that.
Okay.
Nice.
He has something he is obviously very confident about that he does not appear to be lying. He apparently has some sort of like ace in the hole that he is not telling you about, but is pretty sure it's going to work in his favor.
That's annoying. All right.
It's negotiations, friend. You, of course, you come to me with a big list, get your foot in the door, pare it down to something more reasonable for both of us, right? Negotiations. Now,
Negotiation. I don't know.
So I think the first thing that we can obviously cut off is like the manner and the money, because I feel like just taking physical wealth is
Nah.
kind
Yeah.
of the lowest common
Yeah.
denominator and will probably come with its own strings.
Yep.
So, no, that didn't do it. Let me try to cross that off.
Out of character, he wants 2 out of how many? Down from what?
4. He wants us to
Four.
present 4 demands.
Out of let me count how many. I count that back. How many do we have? 1, 2,
I
3.
swear it used to be easier to do strike through font on.
We'll consider strings being attached to being good at cheating with cards.
Okay, so we'll take that one off.
Oh no, I mean strings attached would be fine. Keep it out, even if there's strings attached.
It adds excitement to the every time Spiffle decides to win.
Y'all and your consequence-seeking behavior. All right. Well, in absence of that, I'll just gray that one out. All right. So we get 4. For starters, I'm not counting you providing us information and favors in good faith and honesty, including context and lies of omission being omitted. That's not up for debate. Either you're gonna treat with us honestly, or you're not gonna treat with us at all. So that doesn't count as a favor.
Yeah.
tell you what, to make things smooth out a little easier, my associates and I don't consider you important enough in the grand scheme of things to really worry about. So I don't
You
really
understand I'm taking your word on that, and can't really do that without something more to guarantee it.
Well, I would say then that would be considered a favor, one of the 4. But you could also just accept that we have different, let's say, priorities that you are not on. I'm not here seeking revenge. I don't think you're going to get the better of me and need me to crush you like a bug, and you need me to make sure that's not going to happen. I don't particularly care about you all one way or another.
Fair enough. I guess might as well insight that to insight that, but I feel like he's going to be pretty impossible to read.
Well, I will roll.
And
You actually get the feeling that he probably really doesn't care that much about you, kind of in the same way you probably wouldn't care so much about a moth.
I'm trying to incite that too, but
Yeah. You get the feeling that he doesn't actually care. He is perhaps getting more annoyed at this point, but ultimately he really doesn't see you as something that is worth his attention.
All right. So we got to pick 4 from this one. If you want to try to sidestep the issue with the flayed one, Otto, you could probably take the info about him off, or you could piss him off more on purpose and ask for it anyway.
It's not really as necessary as like a big deal, so you can take that one off.
All right. It's more deprioritizing, but yeah, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think we're gonna definitely have to ask for the information on what the city was for, because I feel like that ties into all of this, and we just keep almost figuring it out, and then the dice are like, no. So I think that one will be, unless you guys think otherwise, I think that one should be.
No, I'm not. I'm also
ask.
kind of curious on what the city. Like, I personally am interested in what the city's for.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So that's 1 for sure. We got 3 more. I think negotiating protection has to be another one.
Yeah. They don't care about us, so if they decide to end it, they can end it, especially for them.
So, information on the Fiend and the attack on Otto's village might be the 3rd one.
Yeah, I think so.
And so for the 4th one, we could ask them to never take action against us or our interests, and that might protect stuff that we don't know is going on. It might not as well.
I thought that was built into the you defend us from the consequences of this decision.
To an extent, that'll protect us, but like if they're deliberately engineering like a civil war or something, they won't be able to be like, Though I don't think we'd be able to deflect them with just this anyway, or he'd probably be less aloof about it. So probably not the escort through hell and back. That'll probably come later. We do know a couple of powerful wizards.
Yep. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So that leaves us with 1 pick left, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and technically 6 left to ask. What do you guys want?
What was we'll deal with the wild hunt? Can we get more? What was the detail on that?
Basically, just the demon is going to kick their asses because that would be a fun diversion for him.
But how long would this keep them away from us?
We would probably have to ask, but I feel like that one's not really worth taking.
Yeah, the Civil War thing might be more important. And we just deal with the wild hunt when they show up.
So I'll fade that one out. That leaves us with the Chaos Blade, Fiffle wanting to cheat at cards, the Viderheim Civil War / Fiendish involvement in mortal affairs, and then nobody taking action against us or our interests, which I guess we can probably table for now.
Yeah, I would go with the Civil War one.
Okay.
I like how the Chaos Blade never even popped up once in this discussion.
I mean, I've been thinking about it. It would probably be here more strongly if Kaido was here, but then again, he's also got.
Yeah.
Okay. So, having done all this, Graham will present them with the first thing they have to do is tell us the information on what this city was for, including the 3rd failed ritual component.
Okay.
Defending us from the consequences of this decision in the immediate and physical, and in the long-term and indirect. Information on Otto's wife, the fiend who slew her, his boss, and his agenda. And the fiendish involvement in the Viderheim and mortal politics in our immediacy.
Okay. All of that can be achieved, I suppose. I will make one slight adjustment. We can't see the long term, so I will only be able to assist you and protect you within the short term of your immediate choice. I can't see where the dominoes are going to land in terms of long term. So I'm not going to be trapping myself in something I can't get the full scope of.
Well, that's a pretty serious concession because I understand we're dealing with short terms and you're dealing with long terms and centuries, which means we should get something if we're giving up a long term protection from centuries running agendas.
I will tell you this. Between us four, we will protect you, or at least we will protect you within the short term, and us four will not knowingly take any action against you, your immediate group here, and your immediate friends in the long term for, let's say, 20 years.
I'll incite that, but I suspect that's probably about the best we're going to get out of that.
I mean, if we're playing this game in 20
Nice.
years.
That is the best you're going to get out of it.
Yeah. Okay. And okay.
Okay, so you want information about the city, our
Yep.
protection for the immediate future. You want any knowledge of fiendish involvement in the Civil War. That's correct.
Fiendish involvement in Viderheim directing mortal affairs.
Let's see, that's an interesting one. I can only tell you what I know. But I'm sure I could figure out. I could at least do a little research just to find out. And then you would like information concerning the fiendish attack upon your dear friend Sir Otto's village and the fiend responsible, the actual mastermind of the whole plot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very good. No wealth, no chaos blade, no passage into the lower planes and back. You have 2 scrolls. One would get you in and one would get you out.
And I suspect we wouldn't fare too well without considerable armed escort down there, would we?
You seem pretty on the ball about different things, but very well then. I can provide you the information for the city right away. I can provide you information about Sir Otto's village and the mastermind within the next couple of days, as I have to organize my notes, which aren't here. They're actually in the lower planes. And as for the information concerning the Civil War and fiendish influence upon Viderheim itself, I can have that in the next week, as I have to actually investigate that one further. Is this acceptable?
I assume no major changes in insight checks. I don't want to just throw dice at it constantly.
I mean, you can if you'd like. You can keep rolling insight.
I always feel like I'm just setting myself for failure when I do that, but yeah.
You're not sure.
I can insight that.
Okay.
I will try to help him. Let's say, compound you.
Nope. Oh, actually, I guess you could get a
Yeah.
halfling to spank you.
I assume Jeremy would just give me that.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I hate this game so much right now.
You're not sure.
I started playing Baldur's Gate, and the dice rolls are
Yeah.
killing me. Like, it's just like D&D. It is D&D.
Actually, it's a little better. Baldur's Gate, if you roll poorly, like a bunch in a row, it actually like juices
Covertly will
things.
help you.
Yeah, it juices things to help you out.
Does it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed that.
I have rolled badly a lot, though. It's quite frustrating.
Okay.
Can't you do the opposite though as well if you have setting on?
Can't remember.
The karmic
Yeah.
dice.
However that works.
That thing screwed me over so much when I found out about it. It's like, oh,
Okay. Well, I think at the moment we have an agreement. Any last minute objections from any of y'all? Looks at the party, looks at the rest of the table.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's fine. I'm good.
Seal the deal.
All right, let's get the Celestial, the Asimar lady in here.
Yes, that is a good. I'll have an imp go and fetch her right away. You may wish to keep it to yourself that she's going to be remaining here until the whole, ritual is completed.
Can I insight that?
Go ahead.
Damn it all to hell.
I mean,
It's
I
not even
like I said,
rerollable.
I can't assist them, can I?
I mean, if you'd like to, if you guys are inciting it, you can just roll.
It's a little better.
I clicked mine, but it'll show up someday. When my life has passed me by. You know what? If we were doing this in person right now, I would just get up and walk out of the table.
Yeah, the dice just want us to suck.
On the plus side, Fiffle would be able to if Jeremy gives.
Yeah, so we're not in combat, so
Yeah.
Infinite
Continue to have
winks.
a-
Just giving them one.
go for it.
It's going up by 1 every time.
It's like, oh, you want a better roll? Here you go.
Okay, I want Aurora to do it just for fun.
Aurora's
Plus-
like, this
plus
feels
3.
black.
+3. She's not the best insight.
Aurora's like, man, these people are nuts.
Aurora knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
He's not
Aurora's
gonna-
like, why am I here?
All right. Well, on the plus side, Fern actually did roll high enough.
Oh yeah.
Fern, you kind of get the feeling that this is a mix of him. It's mostly him, like being a bully. You kind of get that vibe from it, with just the hint underneath of concern that maybe something might happen.
Yeah, I had a feeling like if a devil is telling you don't tell the principal, you'd fucking tell the principal. But Graham will wait patiently for the what's her bucket to show up.
Doesn't take more than a few minutes.
Yep. I will be right back.
Einil, you see her just decked out in her armor. She looks more regal than you last saw her, as she just descends the staircase. You can see the kind of glow behind her from this strange, almost halo shape as she descends the stairs. I've long waited for this. I'm here to finally observe the three who will be returning, the one that will remain, and from there I will be able to reascend to join the gods in my celestial form. I have prepared myself for this moment for quite some time, so.
Yep. Definitely.
All right. Well, there's been some developments.
In what fashion?
Reached out for a little divine intervention and received some information from on high on who I should pick to stay.
And?
And it was you.
She, her mouth is open a bit as she's, attempting to process this information. I don't understand. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I asked my goddess and was delivered an image of you when I asked who should stay behind.
It's possible this is just a fiendish trick, and besides, I don't even think I could stay behind. At which point the
You
smiler
sure?
kind of pops in. Actually, Einil, my research has shown that you would fit perfectly. Maybe not bound to the city per se, but to the material plane.
Well, I have a feeling, as much as there is going on that we're not privy to right here, right now, I'm willing to back my God's play and ask you to trust her and me on it. Because I don't believe she'd steer either of us astray on this.
Graham, make a persuasion check, please.
All right. Please. Oh, not bad.
I will make a roll for her. Her hand is resting on her sword. You can see, like, her knuckles white as she's, like, gripping the handle. But as she thinks about what you just said, her, like, grip releases. You are sure of this?
As sure as I can be. If there's any last second information you could throw in to spoiler the spoiler, now's the time, but
I cannot, as I don't have my memories.
I'm going to insight everybody around one more time, see how their expressions look as this is going on. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Graham, you ever see, like, you ever see, like, the most hated kid in high school get embarrassed and then how everybody else looks at him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they look. They're just, like, all smiles, just they're having themselves quite the celebration, like knocking back wine. The demon has like a big roast of some sort of animal, like in hand, just like the bone, and just kind of like waving it around like a sword or a wand, and before just like sticking it in the mouth and just tearing a chunk of meat from it.
So kind of looks back over at her. Before we put ink on paper over any of this, here were the terms negotiated, and he'll go over the guarantees we were provided.
Well, those seem reasonable, I suppose.
I have a guess what might happen, but I don't know. Only the gods can, at least in this particular junction, but I truly don't believe you'd be left twisting in the wind. Frankly, I wouldn't let it happen anyway. If you had got bound to this place with the information we got here, I would help figure out a way to unbound you.
Well, I certainly have a lot to process. I have to imagine there's some greater plan to this.
Yeah, that's what gods are all about. Greater plans.
Quit standing the fiends. They're already smug enough about this. They're all like, oh yeah, the gods move in mysterious ways. Here comes the Baylor!
All right.
If there's no further objections from anybody assembled.
Excellent. Oh, and to comply with our very first issue of ensuring that you are not harmed or delayed by this in some measure, he produces like a small kind of white crystal. Oh yes, come. And the other three produce their own crystals. Attach this to the Farcaster. It's in the far back of this city. Then you can simply dial it to whoever you desire, and you'll be able to, or at least any active Farcaster, and you'll be able to travel instantaneously. If you wish to return to Vaxfall in a single moment. And then from Vaxfall back to here, if you so desire. Once a day, of course, but especially as we've deactivated the teleporter back, so you really wouldn't have any escape otherwise.
Fair enough. Well, for starters, I'd like the information on this city.
Yes. I can provide you the information you so desire. Oh, of course, just pulls out a kind of very fine contract. It's just a piece of paper or vellum. It seems very thick, very much like it could wear some like a lot. It would probably take some effort to even rip it up if you so desired. But printed on it in plain common are the terms the four you had agreed to, as well as simply completing the ritual, just covering that you will send the four back, leave Einel behind, you will act in good faith, and if you break the promise, then all four of your souls are forfeit to the four.
Have we got a counter clause to that? If they break the promise, they're beholden to provide us all the boons we asked for with none of the returns?
Yes. Just kind of like, if possible, we will provide for the remaining boons that are previously stated in the initial offer.
Is there a check for verifying legalese before signing a document with a devil?
Go ahead and make just a flat intelligence check, I suppose.
Do I have inspiration or anything? I don't think I do.
If everybody's kind of looking it over, I would say just roll an advantage, one person.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, 17, which is still not bad.
Graham, I mean, the only thing that really sticks out to you is just the fact that the if possible could probably be like abused if really they wanted to, but
Graham will lean over and add in to the greatest extent of our capabilities, with nothing held back. Actually, no, that's equally abusive in wording. Stop making me do legalese.
Hey, it's important in these infernal contracts.
If unable to provide a previously indicated boon, one of equal or greater value shall be furnished in its place.
Fair enough, this is acceptable. Of course, we do need this, notarized.
Okay.
Kind of just
Authorized notary public for infernal contracts.
one moment. I have a friend here who will actually be able to assist you. Oh, Anya, please join us if you're able.
Course.
I was actually gonna.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
You see the kind of tall, elvish woman with the very fine robes, the jewels on her arms come out. Good to see you all again.
Yeah.
When my employer here discovered who you were and had made some arrangements with me, I'm here simply an observer. Let me just take a quick peek at this contract.
I'm going to insight her as well because I think I know what his leverage is now. Or, no, I don't.
I mean, you do. Man. It doesn't take much to realize that you still owe her a favor.
Yeah.
You kind of suspect that maybe he was weighing whether or not the favor, like what you were asking, was going to be worth more than what she would ask for the favor in kind. But it seems he's agreed with you. She looks over the contract. Everything seems to be in order. Kind of just puts a little stamp on it. There you go. Now it's all official. Oh, it will be once you sign it, of course. Blood is traditional.
Okay. Can I do a religion check on all of this? Anything I should watch out for that I know about?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, this is certainly, extremely fiendish in nature. A lot of pomp and circumstance. As far as you remember from your religious training, this does seem to match with additional, like, any fiendish plots that had been typically, occurred. Any contract signed. It does seem that there doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
This is
Well-
simply something that they can utilize as proof if they do need to actually, take your souls.
Gotcha. All right.
Otto's gonna brandish a vial of Kaido's blood and sign it in his name.
Why do you have that? He's a heavy sleeper.
No, fresh blood, please.
I'm kidding, but that you would be like, what?
It's very simple. It's a very easy one. Simply take a knife, cut it across your palm, press upon the page, and it will be signed away.
Yeah. Do we all have to do that? I want just one of us to do that, right?
I'd say off, just to keep everything, together.
Hmm.
It's far less and more painful than you would think.
Both less and more, huh?
Hmm.
All right, Graham. I think we're out of rope in terms of figuring stuff out, so Graham will cut his palm and sign.
You press your hand upon the sheet, you kind of feel an intense heat. You pull your hand away and you see that the cut has been healed, although a bloody handprint does remain on the sheet.
All right.
All right. I guess I'll sign the demon contract in my blood.
I mean, I guess. I know what we're doing today, Ferb.
Everyone's doing it.
Demonic peer pressure, infernal peer pressure.
It's Fern's birthday and we're signing demon contracts. What's wrong with us?
We're getting a long-term gift.
The gift of a lesson.
Teachable moments.
Oh, hurry up.
Lifetime and beyond.
I may be immortal, but you're not. No need to. Time's wasting. And you don't mind as much gray as in my hair.
I'll just get it over with.
Cut your palm, put the hand on the paper. You feel the intense heat, and the wound is gone. Dear Fiffle, dear Fern,
I do the thing.
Okay.
you both feel like the pain on your hand as you cut, press the palm on the paper, and then you find the wound has disappeared. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, now that we've all made our fun little deals, let's begin. So, step one, the city. The mage Krexon had wanted to find his, or at least a, crown. That's the purpose of the city. We were brought here in order to force us to actually discover the location. However, the circuit popped and we were not compelled to do that, so we didn't. Feeling that his options here were limited, he left. Keegan left with him, and that's that. That was the purpose of the city. To find this crown. Specifically, if you're really interested, this relates to the early Elven kingdoms. This would be one of the first, how should I say, civilizations to really establish a proper foothold among different continents. If you want any information about that further, you'd probably have to investigate some older elvish folk. Not the ones you might normally meet, the really old ones. But that's the information you asked for about the city. If anything, I provided a little extra, just as a tip.
Alright. Well, that's one down.
Yes.
I guess I'll try inciting that, see if he's being honest per agreement.
Okay. Yeah, as
But-
far as you can tell, he is being honest to the agreement. He's not giving up any more than he really has to. He did give a little extra for the simple fact that he doesn't really care that much.
Yeah.
Great. Well then, Otto's village. I will get that information for you in the coming days. I won't personally come and visit you. I'll send somebody to go do it for you, but the information will be accurate. The name will be available for research further if you so desire. And then as for any fiendish plots within Viderheim itself, I will get that to you within a week. Once again, through an agent, the information will be accurate.
All right.
Well then, we all have a deal. We've signed everything. We have to abide by the contract. So I now hope you'll uphold your end of the contract. He kind of just pulls out some scrolls. Here you are. Start chanting and complete the ritual. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes.
Okay. Can Graham look over them with a religion check?
Go ahead. Well, this is more magical in nature. You do recognize a lot of some religious symbols that have been placed in. It looks like some attempt at a merger between divine magic and actual arcanic magic. It is accurate, the parts that are religious in nature, to your training and your education. So you suspect that this is something that was at least more thoroughly researched in terms of like the actual divine magic. That's really kind of what you'd have. You'd have to look into it further, but that's what your initial overview seems to show.
Okay. Any insights from the arcane among us?
It seems like no.
All right. I guess we'll start doing the ritual.
Einel steps kind of in the center. As you begin chanting, you can kind of feel like the energy flowing around. You can feel the air vibrate. The floor beneath you kind of like shakes a bit as if there was like a small tremor. The heat in the area quickly vanishes and you kind of feel a chill through your skin. You can almost smell this sulfurish smell. And after you finish chanting the ritual, there's a kind of loud crack, like lightning and thunder just immediately next to you, and the heavy scent of sulfur kind of fills the air, and an intense heat even greater than the heat even next to this kind of lava river. You just feel it for a brief moment, and at that point, the four vanish.
Y'all take care now. Okay. Well,
We did it.
Graham looks around.
We sold our souls to demons. I mean, kind of.
Just don't default on this loan. You're not getting away from this one. They've been trying to reach you about your extended vehicle warranty.
Yes. The only
And any changes to the Asimar?
She remains behind. She looks identical to how she did before. Actually, make me a perception check.
Nope.
She looks the same. You can't really notice anything. Well, you're not good. I think, yeah, there we go. Fern, you notice that kind of like light behind her forming a halo shape dims, and it's dimming almost imperceptibly to the point where it finally disappears. Yeah. She looks around. Well, I certainly hope this was to some greater effort. I must say, though, I'm at least pleased that I'm no longer stuck within the city itself. I'm not sure how I'm going to get to the surface. They mentioned the Farcaster.
There's a Farcaster, and we can probably help take you back up if need be.
Well, yeah, we also have to get the people like Kaido, Silthara, get a reward, all that before we Farcaster back.
For what it's worth, my thanks and my sympathies for putting yourself back into the worst possible situation for you. I promise I won't let it be for nothing.
Thank you for that. I think I will travel a bit and attempt to make sense of this all.
If you need a hand or anything, reach out to us. We're based out of Viderheim, but obviously we're on the road a lot. Graham will give the contact information. He does not have a tasteful off-white business card, however.
Graham just like opens his trench coat, takes out a business card, and just hands it to her.
It's him, the influencer.
Well, I thank thee. I shall... I don't even know. I'm going to attempt to figure things out, I suppose.
Understood. We'll keep an ear out as well for anything we can help you out with. Feel free to come with us if you like. I guess we're about at the bottom of this place finally.
This is the final layer, yes. With the 4 gone, the teleporter is most likely active again now that they're no longer suppressing it. My understanding is it should be able to take you directly to the top.
Neat.
As for me, I'm sorry, I won't be joining you. I'll be heading to the surface with you, but then from there, I think I will make my way and attempt to find more information about why I'm still was asked to remain here.
Understood.
Well then, I'm going to make my way to the teleporter. I wish you all the luck, although perhaps we should get the Farcaster working first.
Good shout.
Should we? So, do we just want to theater mind this? Get like we go up top.
I imagine she leads you to the back where you see the a device similar to what you've seen before. It looks like the kind of giant cage. You can see there are sections where you can place the crystals. And you also notice that there are a number, there's a little kind of, it's like a dial where you have to flip the numbers. The current numbers are set to the Farcaster that would be connect at Vaxfall. It looks like that's where it was set to it. The last time it was used.
Graham is going to record how it was set up so we can put it back that way. But then I guess we want to try to get to the top of the Starwell.
Yep. So, as you head to the teleporter, you actually pass through the lava fields. You were not attacked. It just seems your initial fight has kind of scared away whatever things may have been attempting to attack you. And as you reach the kind of dome that houses the teleporter, I know, doesn't really seem any need to delay. She just pushes in, steps upon the circle. I can see that the kind of circle itself, as she steps on it, does glow slightly, indicating that it is working again. Well, no time like the present. And she just kind of like, you see her press her hand on like the pad, and then she recites some words, and at which point the circle kind of like just glows, and just like the light flows up and down, and she's gone.
All right. I sure hope that went as well as it could have. I guess we got do we have any news we have to report up the way as opposed to just teleporting manually to the top?
Gosh.
I don't think so because we got teleported from. Well, I guess we can tell the slime people, whatever, that they're not gonna die. They probably figured that out already. From the Sonic. We went up, so we would have told them already.
Yeah, they had dispatched somebody to go and actually utilize the cure for the slime people.
And Graham looks through the huge notebook of all the stuff he's been recording from the start to the bottom. Well, this one is going to take some writing. But I think we're ready to skedaddle.
Let's skedaddle. Let's get our homies and skedaddle.
We can breathe the free air again.
All right.
Hey, we cleaned it up just in time for school to start.
Yes, you did. Well, you actually only been down here like 3, maybe 4 days.
Winter break.
Considering all the shit we went through, I'm imagining like, did you ever play Star Fox 64?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of it, you get the final screen is an invoice sent to the Cornerian military for your services as mercenaries. And usually he'll say like, this is a steep bill, but it's worth it. But if you have like, I think over 1,000 kills, he's just shocked at how steep the bill was. That's going to be us going back up there like, oh, how'd it go? Like this. So I think we have to own this college now.
See, what's really important
we can put it under Crossblades management and property
what's really
portfolio.
important is that you already agreed to get paid a set amount.
Yeah.
Terms of the deal could change.
Arcane capitalism.
All right. But as you teleport to the surface, you find yourself back above ground for the first time in like 3 days. In fact, you spent way more time in the Underdark than you did down here, so this really wasn't that big a concern in terms of that readjustment. But you are now out of that area.
Graham rolls his neck.
Within Talva, you just teleport up, and you find yourself in a room where just a number of different kind of teachers were around. The teleportation circle activates, and you see them and a couple of guards having just like pushed into the room, and they're like, "What's going on here?"
Howdy. We're back from underneath the college.
They look down at the circle.
Yeah, there's a circle down at the bottom too.
And this teleporter was going for like up and down the Starwell. Wait, it goes lower than that?
Yep.
So low.
The Azamar that came out just a moment ago.
It's a long story, but she's cool.
Yeah, she's fine. It's all good.
Let's take you to meet the headmaster.
Yeah, and who were the ones who originally hired us? We can name drop them to get them in.
So you were actually reached. Should go look in the thing real quick.
We find out he didn't have authorization to hire us.
Well, you had actually spoken to the headmaster, who
Okay.
was Zamble Selwip.
Zambo Bambo.
And I am going up.
And Fern is gonna go pick up her new improved longbow or short bow.
Yeah, my new bow.
Sawn off.
Fancy bow.
All right. But yeah, so you go and you actually meet the headmaster. Ah, good to see you all. You were able to successfully deal with the area below. You're down there a little bit longer than I was expecting. I thought for sure it'd be
Yeah.
something just a couple of hours, but
Graham will put down the
Significantly
extremely
bigger
thick
than
journal of all
you.
the stuff you recorded from the start of the journey to the bottom.
Yeah,
There
it's
was a lot down there, and there's a lot of stuff we ought to let you know before you send
significantly
anyone
bigger
back.
job.
But it should be safe. As safe as we could make it anyway.
all right. He just kind of like starts flipping through, just quickly absorbing the information, and you see his face become more and more like more surprise on it as he's like flipping through.
Tail.
Okay, well that's certainly more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very good. Your payment. I'm sorry. Remind me, how much did I owe you?
Did I write that down somewhere?
It was like 1,200. 1,200 gold.
Something like that, yeah.
Should have been like 2,400.
Well, you should have asked for 2,400.
Yeah, we didn't even know what we were getting into.
Well, neither did he.
Otherwise, I would have just kept going to Vaxfall.
It was certainly a lot more than I think any of us intended, and I'm not going to ask you to pay us more for our trouble, but I would appreciate it if you would keep it in mind, and if there's anything the college could do for us as business partners as much as anything, that would keep the relationship pretty warm, I feel.
Give me a persuasion check.
Dealing with devils, please don't make the adjuncts
Oh,
harder.
yeah. We
God damn, you know it. Halfling? 14.
Well, I'm not authorized to give any additional funds. I mean, this is a school after all. We're not, swimming in money, but I will certainly be able to, if you have any arcane questions, send them my way, and I can certainly have some researchers take a look at it.
Maybe we could negotiate something for like a partnership with the Starwell and the Crossblades, the same way we kind of had agreements with a lot of the people in Voxfall.
I'd be very willing to discuss that. What sort of a partnership are you thinking of?
Access to research catalogs and researchers, maybe tuition or an inn for the magically inclined. Goods and services as at cost as necessary. Like Graham just gives them like the boilerplate when the Crossblades were a big deal stuff that Vaxfall does.
Well, I could certainly consider that. A lot of what you're asking is not something I can authorize myself. However, if you go to, the Countess, ask for permission, I'm sure she could allow that. I imagine probably what you'd want to start with is getting a branch of your guild actually here in the city.
Can I add a character? Should we just like defer this to Carter Webb and just have that work in the background?
Yeah, I have Carter there just for his purpose, like things like that.
Yeah, Hank wants to go to school here.
Who's Hank?
Hank, wake up.
Ah, what do you want?
Fern points at Hank.
Hi.
Put your wizard hat on.
Oh yeah. Reaches into his mouth and pulls out this kind of like slightly slimy hat. There you go. I'm a wizard. Where's my letter?
Yes.
I didn't get a letter to the Starwell. I was gonna cast a spell on a guy and turn him into a duck, and then eat said duck.
Exalted. Duck fate.
Now here's a question. Is he like the first of his kind, the mimic of holding?
He looks at him. Yeah, I can't even think of what insane mind has decided to merge a mimic and a bag of holding into
You'll meet him
this. And it talks? Why would you want it to talk?
Hey, he's all right. I mean, he likes hands, but
Yeah,
we all got our
don't
foibles.
put your hand anywhere near him.
Oh yeah, that's
You
right.
want-
So do I get the angel hand now? Or like, because I was thinking maybe like, you know, it tastes pretty good. Hey, what?
Tell you more later.
You say that so much.
You do keep trying to eat people when we're trying to work with them.
Yeah, but they're tasty. Have you ever considered that?
I have, actually.
You're a monster. I'm going back to bed. Wake me when there's pirates.
Oddly specific, but all right.
I'm reading pirate books. Graham, that is your real name.
I mean, it is.
You want to be a pirate now instead of a wizard?
I want to be many things. The world's my oyster.
Okay.
Oh God, awakened
Can you
mimic. deck
imagine
of
if he was
many things.
an oyster of holding?
He kind of just like puts the hat back and he like reaches in and he pulls out a book. When you, I believe you actually purchased two for him about pirates, or at least he somehow got his pseudopod on it. So
Anyway,
Ooh,
Yeah,
well,
bastard
it's
just
been,
watches this whole thing.
a long adventure. We should get the archaeology department or whoever's going to be actually going down there in on a meeting so we can tell them everyone and everything that's going on down there. Because there's a lot of living things and little mini cultures and so on and so forth.
Yes, I was looking through. I thought it was like one lab. I didn't realize it was a whole. Well,
Yeah.
either way,
there's a whole ecosystem.
I think it's safe to say that the college will be profiting from having the entire place opened up for many, many years now. So I understand you can't make us any promises right now, but if you could bring that up to the board or whomever when you propose our partnership with the Crossblades, I'd be mighty thankful.
well, actually, yes. You know what? I actually have a dinner with the Countess tonight. Um, why don't you join me as
Good.
my guests?
I guess
Yeah.
I guess we could do that.
Good. Then you can just put forward your proposals. I mean, partnership, something very interesting. You certainly handled this issue much more thoroughly than I was expecting, and so I'm very, very happy with how you handle things. So very good there. But really, we would need a actual hall here with some administrators, so we could basically just do business right then and here, as opposed to having to worry about going down to. I believe you have your guild hall in Vaxmall.
Yes, and
Well,
as it happens, we've unlocked a
teleportation device to Vaxfall.
Ah, wonderful. Yes, we'll make it easier than using teleportation spells to actually get to and from. A little more expensive than we'd like.
yeah. So if you don't mind, I'm going to make a copy of those notes. They were hard won, as I'm sure you understand.
Oh yes, here, I'll tell you what. Let me get my. I have some grad students. I'll get them to start copying it and making versions of this. They can prep you a copy. It'll be finished by probably tomorrow. I'll just get like 4 or 5 of them to like work on it. They can just take a piece. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
That is the most realistic college shit I've ever heard in my life. Let the post-grads deal with it. Crying like you got a residency.
All right. In the meantime, he kind of pulls out a big bag, just plops on the desk. 1,200 gold. Split
right.
among yourselves as you so desire.
Basically,
Oh,
3 days,
payment.
300 each.
Do we want to split it to 300 each right now? Before I add it to the loot document, I mean.
I mean,
Good.
it's pretty
Yeah.
even.
Alright.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, so I'll just add 300 GP, which is good because I was almost broke again.
Let me add that to the rewards we've already got.
All right, let me
Add that.
do myself in. Right.
Okay.
Well then, as for tonight, so the Farcaster, probably you'll want to use that to get back to Vaxfall, I imagine. It'll beat and walking, and you can't take a boat right now because the river's frozen. And even if you could, be risking getting shot full of arrows and the like. So
Yeah, have there been any developments in the tensions going on while we were down there?
it won't have been another few days, but there's some news filtering up from Vaxfall. We weren't able to get the full story. You'd probably have to head down there. I've heard a few rumors here or there. The Count of Drindir's nephew apparently was hung for war crimes.
That's interesting.
Certainly not something I was expecting, but
That's going to do a lot to alleviate tensions, isn't it?
no, quite the opposite.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry. I was just.
Sorry, it's the accent. People forget I'm capable of it.
I was lost in thought. Anyway, that's the latest news. I've heard a few other rumors here or there. But if you wish, Vaxwell is going to have the most information.
Right.
But in the meantime, Talbot itself is mostly untouched by the war. Trade always slows down during the winter, so we're not exactly in too difficult a position. And I would ask that you avail yourself of the city. It's actually a very lovely city if you know where to look.
All right, thank you kindly.
And in the meantime, check with my secretary. She'll get you set up and get you the information needed for attending dinner tonight. Oh, and quite the practical bunch in your armor. I'd recommend maybe some finery if you have any for the dinner. The Countess is pleasant, but big on protocol.
Understood. All right, I guess we got some getting ready to do.
Yes.
All right. Well, would you like to do anything else in the meantime?
I want to go take drugs, which I might do IRL.
All right. Well, Fern is picking up.
The rain has been messing with my back.
Then
I assume we're just gonna get ready. I think we have.
Yeah. I am out of brain. I had to fucking do the devil deals and shit.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we have finery because we did the we have the clothes from when we did it with the Duke.
yeah, that was my
I
commit
think
first.
that would suffice. Would that suffice, Mr. Ian?
Yep. Anything good enough for the Duke is going to be good enough for the Countess.
Okay, so let's roll with that.
Pick up my bow.
Nina's picking up her murder weapon.
Okay. All right, Fern, you head down to get the long. This was a. Okay, I'm drawing a blank. What was this longbow again?
I don't remember.
If I remember correctly, it was like one that was being adjusted for your size.
Yes,
I think it was like a +1 or something. I don't recall.
I think so.
Okay. It sounds about right. I'm sure I have it written down. But if I do remember correctly, yes, you were going to have it because it is. It would normally be too large for you, so you're having it adjusted so that it wouldn't lose any of its abilities while being more usable by you, a small rabbit girl.
Yes.
And it sets things on fire. I mean, that's just wishful thinking, but it sets things on fire.
Okay.
Why would you need that when you have a perfectly serviceable D&D party already?
As you
So
want to pick up the bow.
We don't have a wizard to set things on fire right now. You
pick up the bow. you can see that the bow itself, there isn't a tremendous amount of difference to it. It does have some slight alterations to it. You do notice that the kind of magic throughout it is still very powerful, or at least the same it was before. But it is, you feel a little shorter. It's a little bit more usable by you, like it's adjusted to your body height a bit better, and you find that you're able to kind of draw the string back. It still has the same amount of pull, but it doesn't seem as unwieldy as it has before, and you find that it's actually quite capable of being used by you without any real trouble.
Nice.
However,
We'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna let y'all steer.
Okay.
your guns grow jealous.
I'm done being useful.
There's sentient guns now? Jeez.
Don't worry, guns. When you get upgraded to +1, the bow will get jealous. Do we need anything else? I don't think we did anything else. It's been so long. It's been like 6 months, real time.
I don't think we had anything else.
Let me check the dock real quick. Oh, we have the. Oh yeah, we have the manticore eggs. I guess we were keeping those. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't believe anybody asked you for manticore eggs. I think you just collected them.
Yeah, we just collected them. They're unhatched. They weren't like touched or anything. I guess that's.
We could hatch a manticore and
We're gonna have our own manticore guard.
raise it. Yeah.
In basketball, right? I like this. See, this is why, as the voice of reason, Matthew is not allowed to leave the computer. Okay, I don't see anything here that we need to do. Tolva doesn't have the author, right? That's the other one.
Yeah, that's a Kirag.
Kirag. Okay. Well, I think.
I guess we just go get ready for.
Yeah, let's go get ready. We're good.
Okay.
We still have dragon skills, right? That's for. I forgot his name. Necromancer Bob.
Yeah, you still have the dragon scales that you got from those 2 green dragons.
Yeah, I think that's in box ball.
Yep.
Okay.
While Fern is collecting her bow,
We'll just get ready.
secretary kind of like comes. Oh, good. She pulls out a scroll. Here's information on the dinner tonight. Just present that at the actual keep for the countess, and it'll get you inside. She pulls out another scroll. Here's something. It basically will get you to a. Well, it's a place you could take a bath.
Okay, we will do that. We should probably take a bath.
You just all need to be presentable for the countesses, and
no offense taken, and very understandable. All right, so let's take a bath.
Okay.
Get ready.
Yep, you head to the location. It is, looks like a small area meant for, looks like it support military people. You can see that there's like a small smith and black armorer there.
Mm-hmm.
They take your armor, tell you, we're going to just clean it. We're going to clean up all your weapons, get them all nice and sharp. Head inside, get cleaned up. We don't have the hot springs here, but we definitely have some good options available. We got people heating up the water. get cleaned up. We'll take care of everything. If you need anything, just let us know. The Starwell has given... Well, they paid for everything, so... All expenses paid.
Cool. Much appreciated. I'm just doing what Graham would say. Alright.
Alright, you get cleaned up. Come and find your armor has been... It's all been cleaned off, all the gunk, all the slime, all the acid, all the blood stains. Everything that you've accumulated down below over the past few days has been cleaned off. All your weapons have been sharpened. The only thing that hasn't really been touched is Hank. The kind of Hank bag just sits still relatively...
Hanky?
Yeah. Otto, they tried to
What?
launder me.
They try to water you?
They tried to launder me!
Oh, how?
With water.
No. Did you fight back?
Horrifying.
Did you use your magic?
Ha! I used the magic of getting punched in the face with the pseudopod. That's what I did to them, not what they did to me.
It's kind of cool.
Now,
Okay.
they tried to launder me. Your
So
loyal Hank. Horrible. Terrible.
yes.
Kill them, Otto. Strike them down with all your rage.
Okay.
Do you want to go take a bath yourself instead?
You know
Oh, yeah,
what?
that sounds good.
That's
Okay,
what we're
go
trying to do.
for it then. Yeah.
I don't have legs.
Yep.
You, dog, carry me. Carry me into the bath.
Okay, Aurora will carry him to the bath.
She returns a few minutes later with Hank looking a lot
Yeah.
nicer. There we go.
Good job,
Okay.
Hank. Looking pretty
Yeah, good
spiffy,
job.
Hank. You're gonna find a Mrs. Hank pretty soon.
They said I was the only one. They said that he was crazy to make something like me.
So,
Bag of holding. What would a Mrs. Hank be?
what would you want a Mrs. Hank to be?
A Goliath.
Okay. Well, you're gonna be a powerful wizard pretty soon, so you can make a Mrs. Hank.
That's awful. That's a terrible thing to say. Don't you have any sense of morals?
No,
Otto!
no, I don't.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like-
take a nap again.
Okay. I feel like Hank was not expecting that answer. Anyway, I assume we're all Gucci for the.
Yep, you all dress up nice and in your fine clothes. Head to the keep where the Countess lives. This keep is actually very... Yeah, it's nice. It's not the kind of like brutalist style that you'd expect from like the Count's keep at Kirog or even Vaxfall. This one has a lot of decoration on it, a number of statues. As you're led inside through the walls, you can see that there's a large courtyard with a fountain that greatly dwarfs the one that you have at your at the Vaxwell Guild Hall. A number of the gardens are actually in these kind of like glass walls, as there are a number of greenhouses around. So you can actually see a number of flowers through the walls that are out of season typically, but are growing quite well with inside. You pass by aviaries. You pass by a big glass building full of butterflies of different colors, a number of animals all around, forming a small zoo. As you're led inside, the guards bring you up, bring you through the grand hall into a large dining room. There is a massive wooden table made of a very hard, dark wood that has a number of different carvings in it. Flowers and vines and trees, expertly well done. A good amount of food has been laid out. It's not a feast for a large party, but it is, you can see just 6 or 7 different people sitting around. You do recognize the headmaster of the Starwell. You also see, dressed in extremely fine clothing, a tall elvish woman.
Which I assume would be the Countess.
Yep. Headmaster comes over. Please let me introduce you. This is Countess. I don't like how this day. 1 second. It's being stupid. 1 second, because my stupid notes aren't organizing correctly. Come on. Oh, you know what? I have it here. All right. Headmaster comes up to you. Hello, everyone. Please let me introduce. This is Countess Alora Pressler. She, Countess of Talva, as she has been for the previous 100 years.
Good evening.
Good evening. Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you all. The headmaster was regaling me with the tales of your adventures and the work you've done at the Starwell.
Yeah, we found quite a bit.
Please have a seat. The Starwell is the shining star of Talva. Any work done there in its benefit is a benefit to the city itself and a benefit to me. So I appreciate all the work you've done.
Well, thank you kindly. Be happy to look into a partnership for ongoing benefit to one another.
Of course. I have some administrators who can assist with that. The headmaster was mentioning such a thing, that there would need to be a branch office of your guild within the city. I think that could be arranged. If the work you do for your branches is as thorough as you yourselves do, then I'm looking quite forward to being able to entertain that. I actually do recall a time when the Crossblades used to actually have offices throughout Viderheim itself. Before the incident 70 years ago, I had only just taken the countess position from my father, and it was unfortunate to hear of what had occurred and the poor luck that had befallen the Crossblades themselves. So I'm glad that they're actually able to rebound from such a situation. I know some people had suspected that they may have been permanently destroyed, but I think we all know that 70 years of downtime is not too much trouble.
We are coming back in a big way.
Wonderful. I hear you've assisted the Duke with some various matters? Or
Remind me out of character.
kinda, not really. She's just being polite.
Yeah.
But I do hear you won the gauntlet. And you've been assisting the other college. More archaeological pursuits rather than the arcane, but always excellent to help centers of learning.
I quite agree.
Well then, I will have my administrators reach out to your people among your guild hall at Vaxball, and we'll arrange something. We'll probably be able to get... we do have a disused building that I think would work pretty well. It had fallen into care of the state. We hadn't quite figured out what we wanted to do with it. Back taxes and all that. I imagine we could probably set up something. Of course, I imagine it would be up to you to staff it, but...
I'm certain we can figure out the logistics. I am most grateful, as are we all.
Wonderful. Well, please enjoy. I don't know what kind of food they have down there, but I'm sure that ours is just as good, if not better. She shows some like roast pheasant a large kind of vegetable medley, a number of different kinds of wines, all are presented in front, as well as a number of different sides to enjoy.
Like we've been eating rocks and worms for months. Probably not that bad, but
It's horrible. I can't imagine having to eat something like that.
yeah, it's been terrible. So we're excited to eat this food.
Oh yeah.
Rocks and worms. I can't imagine that's nourishing.
It's not.
They're probably
we
good
made
enough.
do. Sometimes a little hard living down there helps with the nice living up here.
Ah, yes, a fair contrast.
Just imagining Kaido being here and all the wherewithal and happenstancing. Graham makes polite small talk and
Yeah.
has enough social grace to know what adventures might be worth talking about over polite noble dinner versus which ones might be a faux pas.
All right. Well, if nobody else has anything, we fast forward to the evening. It's nice, plenty of food. There are actual live musicians who are playing for everyone's entertainment.
Yay.
Good time is had by all. After a few hours have passed, the Countess invites you all to take some guest quarters within the actual keep itself to stay the night.
Nice.
Just goes on to say, yes, it's late, I would never kick you out at such a distant hour when it's so cold out these days. The winter is truly gripping us at this time.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. We have servants if you need anything. So I will be retiring to my chambers. I will see you. Well, I probably won't see you in the morning. I have quite a bit of work, but do take care. And if our paths cross again, I look forward to it.
Yeah, you have an excellent evening.
You as well. She kind of retires. The guards just shut the door, and one of them escorts you down a few flights of stairs down a hallway to some nice guest rooms. They're not the nicest you ever stayed in, but they're well maintained. They are warm. They have nice wood paneling around. The floors are carpeted. There's a bed that is kind of set up. The mattress stuffed full of feathers. The comforters are very heavy and warm. Pretty comfortable. More comfortable than even your like the rooms you would have at your guild hall.
Nice.
All right. You get the benefit of a long rest. You already haven't had that, and then morning comes.
Graham might be at max short rest now.
Yeah, I know. It's been so long.
He lives.
A servant comes to collect you. Note from the Starwell. The notes you wanted a copy of are ready. And the Farcaster unit is charged. I don't know what that is, but I was told just to let you all know.
Thank you very much. Graham will tip him a silver.
Thank you, sir. He takes the silver, pockets it quickly, and is on his way.
Graham just like doubled his pay for the week.
He's probably an overworked grad student. He probably, I don't have to have magic ramen. Oh, I can feast tonight. I could get salt.
Salty ramen.
Oh boy, an orange. Now I shall never be scurvy
I shall
again.
never hunger again.
But, so you have that message. What do you do?
Let's head back.
Yep. Grab the party.
Okay. Everybody collects together. You are presented by a rather bleary-eyed post-grad student with a number, like a big thick ream of papers. Here you go. Here's the notes you wanted.
Thank you much.
Are those
You get some sleep, buddy.
Yeah, what's that, man? You gotta just heads out.
How good are those notes? I assume they'd be decent.
They're in good shape. The handwriting. There's actually 4 different kinds of handwriting, as it looks like 4 different people have worked on it. But it's neat. It is well written down, and it covers basically everything that Graham wrote down.
Okay.
In fact, if anything, it's nicer. It's like didn't have to worry about like writing it on the go, so like it's written.
Did they also get the language stuff from like the Minotaur, where we couldn't translate it down there?
That is currently partially translated, but a number of notes indicate that it is an older. Yeah, you actually see a footnote that does say that it's an older language. It is going to need more time for translation.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Now, do you want to return to Vaxfall, or do you want to stay in Talbot and do something else?
Do you guys remember what irons we had in the fire up here? Because I think this was supposed to be the last thing on our way back.
Yeah, so I think we collected everything. I was gonna ask you the dragon scales that the necromancer Bob is in Vaxfall, right?
Yeah.
Good old necromancer Bob.
I don't remember his name, so he's just necromancer Bob.
I got it written down somewhere.
If not, that's his new name. Zupan was for the Star. Well, we're done with that. We did the ancient dragons, right? I'm just looking at active quests here.
Not ancient. We wouldn't be able to fight an ancient. We fought the 2 young adult ones, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll greenify Zupan.
Zupan the third.
I don't remember what color that are. Wow, that's nuclear. Whatever, close enough. I guess the Crypt Robbers is almost done.
You do need to take her back.
Well, you're also doing a redemption arc, and you're gonna beg for clemency, right?
Yeah. Oh God, I keep setting myself up for roleplay checks that I'm too tired to catch.
I'm gonna have to.
Stop making me use my brain. I do that.
I'm gonna have to probably get involved in this one because it is my boss that wants to freaking execute her.
Yeah, she is guilty of violating the law, but Graham did lay the seeds of like establishing a like official Eidos worship in the city, so it wasn't my plan, but that does kind of give him more political ground to say like, my god has domain over life and death and rightful rest, and the consequences of her actions should fall to me.
But she's also helped us a lot, so that
the gang starts a church and state war.
Yeah, she has helped us, so hopefully that'll go for her.
Yeah, Graham's not going to leave it at just like a strongly encouraging letter to not chop her head off, because then they'll just chop her fucking head off.
I mean, you also don't want to get in a fight with my boss.
Yeah. Anyway, that's politics for later. I don't think there's anything else we have left to do here, so we can probably go back to Voxfall.
Yep.
I don't think I'm blanking on anything. Ian, now's the time to remind me if I am.
I don't believe so.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I guess technically now we can just go back and forth once a day, so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We unlocked fast travel.
Yeah.
Technically, you already did, because there's a...
There's one in that island.
Yeah.
Kosa.
There's more places.
It only took 2 years.
Do they just like one teleporter go to one specific other teleporter, or do they like?
It depends on the teleporter. The one we just did, we can actually tune to different addresses. So we should be able to go back and forth now.
Each one has basically a number you put into it that connects to another one. It's like a telephone. So instead of calling a teleporter, you just like you connect to it and then teleport to that specific one. And once you're on the other end, then you can put the number in and go back to the other one. If you know the number, of course, but
Yeah.
they're all written.
That's why Graham writes them down. Not that we've had a lot of occasions where that's come up.
All right. Well, it's a somewhat familiar sight as you are brought to the teleporter, teleported down to the city that you've been in for the past couple of days. There actually are some researchers down in the city currently. It's a little more lively, although at this point there are no imps. Any fiends that were down there are disappeared now. There's some workmen setting up some different constructions there, some different offices. It's just a
They
small
just opened up a
selection.
new dorm.
It's just a small selection right now. You imagine it's probably going to get bigger. But you're brought in. You've been to the Farcaster as you had to reattach the crystals. It's already been keyed to Vaxfall. You step inside, and instantly, in a very familiar sensation, you are teleported to Vaxfall, and you find yourself at the first, or technically second Farcaster you found. Just kind of like a number of researchers in the area just looking at you as it has activated.
Howdy.
Ahoy there, matey.
A large amount of kind of excitement as they're like, I thought it only connected to Kosa.
Yeah,
not
good news
anymore.
on that front. Let me pull everybody together and we'll fill you in real quick, Bode. Then we got to get going.
As you fill them in, it's a bit of excitement. You are led out from the kind of area you're in, out from this former bakery that has been now converted into a research center, out into the streets of Vaxfall, and we are going to end it here for today. And also, because you have successfully completed the kind of dungeon underneath the Starwell, everyone is going to gain a level.
Yay!
Hooray.
Violence!